I want to give you a little background on how Representative Echols and I come up with the idea. The night of the tornado, the two of us got to Moore as quickly as we could, and we walked into Briarwood, and then we walked into Plaza Towers as they were finding some of the children there in the rubble. And we were talking to one of the firefighters, and he was telling us what was going on. And John turned to me and he said, what can we do? What can we do to make our schools safer? And as we walked down the streets, talking to people, we chatted back and forth, different ideas we had. And then the next morning, John called me and said, "Hey, Mark, do you know a nonprofit that we could put some money into to put storm shelters in schools?" And I said, "I don't, but let's just start our own." So that's what kind of catapulted John and I into this deal. And Representative Treblecock is chair of the Energy Committee. He had sent me a message that Apache Corporation had some money, had $500,000 that they were wanting to direct towards the Moore area, the disaster in Moore.
After Representative McBride and I talked, we got with Representative Richard Morset and Representative Eric Proctor. This is a bipartisan effort, and this is not political at all. It happens that we are representatives, and it happens that we all care about the same issues, what happened in these schools, and what we can do to help. When we started this fund, it was incredible, the people that wanted to come out of the woodwork and help. We all just went to work, not really knowing what to do, just knowing there was an issue, there was a problem that needed to be solved. When we initially announced this, after Apache was kind enough and generous enough to give the initial $500,000 seed money, the article had gone out, what we were doing, and I was contacted by a gentleman named John Hunt. We had a long phone conversation, and we were going to talk for about 5 minutes. It ended up to be about 30 minutes. At the same time, this group of representatives is working on this issue, putting money together, trying to find a way to deal with this. There's another group of business individuals, local celebrities, working on the exact same issue. It's an incredible Oklahoma success story. This is a large undertaking that's going to take a large response from all of the citizens of Oklahoma, and we are honored to be able to partner with some great business people and come together under one organization.
On May 21st, we sat around trying to figure out, what can we do to help? We knew we could give money, we knew we could give time, but that just didn't feel enough. We kept thinking about Plaza Towers and how do we stop that from ever happening again? As a result, we started a fund. The next day, I heard what Representative Echols and Representative McBride were doing, and so I reached out to them. As a result, we have formed ShelterOklahomaSchools.org. It is a 501(c) to put a shelter or safe room in every school. It's a very ambitious task, but it is one that we can get done. Not a political task, it is a private task. We need our citizenry, our businesses, everyone to come together. This must be a team effort.
We are one Oklahoma. This isn't a Republican or a Democratic effort. It's not a Tulsa effort, Oklahoma City effort. It's all of Oklahoma united in the goal of making sure that each and every child is safe in our public schools during inclement and extreme weather. In the ministry, I talked about you never know where you're at in the process. Sometime you may be cultivating, sometime you may be planting the seed. Well, the people I'm going to introduce now, Mr. Steve Ferris, the CEO from Apache Corporation, has planted the seed.
When things like this happen, especially in a state that we do business, the state of Oklahoma, it's very easy to come forward. We have over 400 employees living in the state of Oklahoma. Many of them been touched by what happened, the tornado that happened in Moore, Oklahoma. And when Rob Johnson, who is our vice president of our regional office in Tulsa, came up with the idea that we should give something back, it was an easy decision to make. What we had decided to do, and really at the help of John and our IR folks, is to help seed this new fund that is effort is to build storm shelters for schools that are most prone in the state of Oklahoma. I'd also like to take this time to tell you that we're also going to add to that and create a challenge of another $500,000 for people that want to match funds that Apache had put in up to $500,000. And when you think about it, it's a little price to pay to keep our kids out of harm's way.
I would just say that we are honored to be here today. It's acts like this that have been able to sustain us through the last few days. A terrible tragedy, and we would all tell you that our reality about tornadoes and schools was changed forever on May 20th, 2013. We have taken some proactive steps already in the planning for rebuilding of Briarwood and Plaza Towers. We have safe rooms in 2 of our schools at Westmore and Kelly that FEMA helped us build after the 1999 tornado. We are just honored and privileged to be here, and we thank you so much for everything that you're doing. This is an issue, as I said, that's a new reality, not only for Moore Public Schools, but for every school in the state of Oklahoma.
No state loves their neighbor more than the state of Oklahoma. And we're calling on everyone from the business, public, private communities, anyone that wants to get involved, help us love our neighbor and help us protect kids. Thank you very much.